not under the control of the Yemeni government. The Yemeni authorities, who have considerable experience in dealing with situations of this type, emphasize that the motive for the kidnapping was not political. It was confirmed that South Africans are not one of the Pacific nationalities that are actively targeted, and that this was, in fact, a case of mistaken identity. We stress the pressing urgency of the case in view of the deteriorating health of Mr. Korkie. We used our engagement to seek advice and look into what Yemen and South Africa could do together to secure the speedy release of Mr. Korkie. We reiterated that the South African government does not pay ransom under any circumstances. The Yemeni authorities underscored the willingness, they underscored the goodwill towards South Africa and committed to do everything possible to work towards Mr. Korkie's safe release. It was agreed that South Africa and Yemen would continue to explore options that might hopefully result in the early release of Mr. Korkie unharmed. During our stay in Sana'a, I made a televised plea to the kidnappers to show mercy to Mr. Pierre Korkie. In that plea, I said, among other things, that, and quote, Pierre Korkie is gravely ill and desperately needs medical attention. His life is in danger. Islam enjoins us to show mercy and forbids us from harming sick, even in war. I beg those who are holding him to release him without delay. South Africa is a developing country, and the Korkies are not a rich family. I appeal to you to cooperate with all initiatives so that Pierre Korkie can come home for the treatment he needs to save his life and be reunited with his family, end quote. The South African government has been working with various role players since the kidnapping of Korkie in mid-1913. Our ambassador to Saudi Arabia, who is also accredited to Yemen, has made several trips to Yemen and continues to work closely with the Yemeni authorities on this matter. We thank the government of Yemen for the willingness to engage and assist. We will continue to liaise closely with the Yemeni government on this matter. Thank you very much.
Do we have any questions? I see JJ.
Thanks. Minister Jean-Jacques Cornish, Eyewitness News. Is there not a danger that prolonging the deadline has given the impression to Al-Qaeda that we're in the process of raising the money, that there's a possibility we can raise the ransom, which is why they're waiting? At any point did we say we simply can't raise this money?
Well, look, we made it very clear to the Yemenis and the stakeholders that we engaged in that as far as the South African government is concerned, we are not going to pay any ransom, and it is our principal position. There have been probably some contact between them and the family. It's not a matter for the South African government. You know that the family has made an appeal for funds, but that's a private family matter. Our information is that they extended the deadline because they were told that the deputy minister was coming. And the past experience has shown that these deadlines are not permanent because they keep shifting the deadlines. Because they are always hoping that some ransom will be paid. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. Our appeal has been that we should release Mr. Korkie without paying any ransom, particularly from our side as the government of South Africa. Yeah.
Any other question? Madam Yellow?
I'm work from ENCA. Yes, I just want to find out what else really is the South African government going to do in this matter? Is there anything else, or just wait and see?
Well, look, it's just not wait and see. I think we have engaged the Yemeni government. We met all the relevant officials, including the president. We do not wish to get into the details of our discussion with them at this stage, but we will continue to liaise with the Yemeni government and any other person that is involved or that could assist without going into any detail. So just not fold our arm, wait and see. I think we'll be actively engaging the Yemeni government to see what options that we have to get Mr. Korkie released.
Okay. Any other question?
From SABC. Minister, just hours after you made that appeal on the Yemen TV station, it happened that the kidnappers were to contact the negotiators from Gift of Forgiveness again, this time with the threat of a bomb belt. Are you concerned that this plea that you have made might have been received wrong or might have not been accepted by the kidnappers?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we just made a plea on humanitarian ground. There's nothing in our plea that would enable them or will give them any reason to make any threats. But you know, it's the kidnapping is not something new. There are 8 other kidnapped people in Yemen. Some were released in whichever way. So there's always this threat coming up that if the ransom is not, we need to take this threat seriously because we are dealing with people, you know, who are very, very brutal at times. So we take the threat seriously, and we hope that something could be done for Mr. Korkie to be released. Yeah.
Okay, JJ.
Thanks, Minister. Do you have advice for South Africans on going to Yemen? Are you advising them not to go or to be very careful when they go?
Well, I don't recollect we in South Africa have issued any travel warnings to our citizens, unlike the other countries. I think the United States and UK have issued travel warnings. There are a number of South Africans that are working in the Middle East. If government pays ransom, of course, it's not our policy to pay. We would encourage the kidnappings of South Africans. We would like to say to South Africans that wherever they travel, particularly in areas of conflict, they should be careful. They should look at the situation there. And we also encourage South Africans to register with our embassy wherever they are, so that our embassy should know who is there, and if there are any problems, the embassy will be able to assist you.
Okay. Any last questions before we conclude? The last 2 hands. Say.
We have convincing proof that Mr. Korkie is alive, and how should we demand the rest of the president?
Well, Mr. Korkie is alive. I think that we have some indication to that. His wife was released, so that she confirmed that he's alive. They're demanding a ransom of $3 million, which translates to over 30 million rands, depending on the exchange rate. It's over 30 million rands. And obviously, I mean, the family could not raise that amount of money. As far as the South African government is concerned, I mean, we have made clear that as a matter of principle, we would not pay ransom for kidnappers, but it's the question of the family. But our information is he is alive, yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, you're the last one.
Thank you. Sidi Madia from Power FM. Deputy Minister, I wonder, there's always a conversation that as government, you don't supposedly need to be seen because you're humanitarian. And we put ourselves in a position where we could not agree. Are we worried about how that changes the way some people view South Africa on a global scale?
Look, we are not negotiating with the terrorists. There's no direct negotiation between the government of South Africa and kidnappers or terrorist organizations. Of course, we can't prevent if the family wants to contact and negotiate with them. I mean, it's not a decision of South Africa. But even in Yemen, we did not negotiate with them. We were dealing with the Yemeni government and not direct contact with the kidnappers or the organizations that they belong to.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Minister. That brings us to the end of the briefing, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. We have tea and coffee outside. Thank you. A statement is been circulated as an evening.
Thanks, JJ. Yeah, it's quite a year. But I'm cautiously optimistic.